Chit Chat is sponsored by Fun Again Games, where everyone is welcome at our table, and your source for hard-to-find imports, liquidation games, new releases, and much more. Be sure to visit funagain.com to check it out. On episode 104 of Chit Chat, we're diving into board game stats. Our own board game stats, actually. The dust has settled on our top 50, but we had no idea it could be this much fun to sift through all that data. Welcome back to Chit Chat. This is episode 104, and we are here to talk about board game stats. Now, before you say, oh, like BG stats, yes, we are going to talk a little bit about that. But more importantly, and probably, I hope, more excitingly,
yes,
we're going to be talking about the stats, all the statistics from our top 50, because we've got our resident genius here who put together...
I don't know, look at the smile on Emily's face. When you said the word data, and like...
Data. So before we did our top 50, Emily and I had a conversation. We were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we came together and put some statistics together about like, what's the average weight of our games, and things like that. So she spent a lot of time poring over our top 50s, come up with a lot of things. She's going to sort of present them in the form of questions to us.
It's going to be like a trivia game.
Oh, boy.
So you guys can play at
Oh,
home,
boy.
too.
Wow.
I'm nervous already. I usually don't let go of the reins of that sort of thing on here, but I'm ready to do it.
You're normally the quiz master.
I'm the quiz master. I don't like being the guy answering the questions.
I'm usually overconfident and wrong.
Yes. You are?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't know about the wrong part, but you've got confidence oozing out of you.
Oozing my cheese.
I can feel it.
You are. Your confidence personified.
Yes.
But we're going to be talking about all of those board game sets and maybe a couple games here and there. We'll see. Before that, though, we do have a winner from the last episode. If you remember, if you watched. If you didn't watch it now. We gave away Ready, Set, Bet. Now, this will be shipping when it is available. I don't know when that will be, but it will be shipping to Emily Chen. You are the winner, so...
A fellow Emily.
Yes, a fellow Emily.
I just want you to know...
Tonight's episode's all about Emily's.
Oh my God.
I just want you to know I'm jealous of you, Emily. I really want that game.
It is a good game.
It is
really
it
good
is a
game.
fun game.
Yeah, you might get it before we
But
do.
thanks for the email with the code word that you listed below. It was Ticket. We'll reach out to you and sort out all the details. This week, we are going to be giving away from Pegasus Spiel a copy of First Rat. This is another game that we're not sure exactly when you'll get it, but you will get it. So make sure and email at mvmcontest@gmail.com. The code word that you see below. Does anyone have an idea for the code word?
Can it be cheese?
Boom. It is cheese.
Nice.
I was thinking cheese. I just wanted to see if one of you was going to say it. Cheese is the code word. Email us with just that word in the headline for your chance to win a copy of First Rat. And now,
Are you ready?
I hand it over to, like I said, our resident genius.
Ready for some stats?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I should say, too, if you haven't seen our top 50 videos yet, this is a great time to go back.
You mean
watch
right now?
all of them. Yeah, go back, watch them.
All of them.
Because this is going to spoil some
All of 'em.
things.
Oh, that's
so
true. That is true.
If you don't want to be spoiled, go back, watch just a few of them, like 9 total. Go watch those
yours
videos.
mainly?
Yeah, just mine.
Just ours. Yeah, I was going to say, we record mostly good. Just ours. I
would say that knowing the titles does not spoil how much fun we had talking about the titles. So
Yeah.
it's
That's
still
true.
worth watching.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking of titles, does anyone want to guess how many games we talked about total?
Oh, so
counting overlap?
this is
Like-
the overlap
so
factored in.
we each had our top 50s, so possible it would have been 200.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't, because we know we had some
Oh.
overlaps. What are your guesses for how many games
Who gets to
there
go
were?
first?
Jeremy.
What is?
Be really confident here in your answer.
Yeah, what was
Number between 0 and 200.
I'm going to take back my oozing with confidence comment.
Jeremy says 300.
And 50.
That would be oozing with confidence.
I like to live dangerously. 201. I'm going to go at 147.
Ooh, I
all right.
like that number.
Confident,
How's this
confident.
work, by the way? Is this Price is Right rules? Can I go
No, it's just
148 and
closest.
win?
It's just closest.
Just closest. 147. I'm gonna say 130.
130. We got one
I
percent.
actually
130.
don't think we had as much overlap as you think. I'm gonna say 175.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
high.
I think it was more than that. But
More
We
than
had
that
a lot of
overlap. Yeah,
Euros.
there was
was
more
there more
overlap.
overlap
There was
So
way
there
more. There was
was
so many Euros, man.
140 titles that we came up
wow.
with. Yeah, I know. He really,
you got it by
Hey, look what I found. I found this shoulder right here.
By the way, can I just interject?
What?
It's late right now.
We've been playing games all day.
You're lucky we're holding this together as well as we are.
No, that's pretty crazy though. That's good. Like the good solid 140 games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
140
Yeah.
games we talked about. We
That's
talked
a
about. We
lot.
had a lot of crossover, and you would know about crossover because you actually had the most crossover with anybody else's
King
list.
crossover over
King
here.
crossover over here. But do you want to guess who had the most unique games?
Oh,
Oh, I
You.
know. No. Oh.
this is me.
It's
No,
one
it's
of
going to
you
be
two.
one of
It
the
was
two
me.
of you.
It
I'm
was
going to. You say Emily?
Yeah, well, Emily's like number 6.
Are you going to say Emily? Let's put it this way.
I bet you it was me simply because there's so many games that you guys didn't even talk about that I talked about. At all.
That's what she's asking.
Like not
That's
even
true.
close.
Yeah, but
not
she
even
had
close.
some too.
She
that
had ones
none
that
of
you
us
had
talked
never
No,
about.
she
heard
had
of,
like
but,
party games because Emily had a lot of party games on her
I
list.
had at least
She had
10
a-
games that nobody had ever.
I'm going to
like,
choose
mentioned.
Jeremy.
Who you choose? You choose yourself?
I
Yeah.
choose me.
I'm not going to choose because I know the answer.
Are you going to choose Emily?
I'm gonna choose Emily.
All right, and it is Jeremy.
Yeah.
So
Bye.
Jeremy had 30 unique games out
Oh,
of his
wow.
50.
How many was
I
you?
had 28.
Oh,
so
so it was
just
close.
right there.
Okay, what about us? Do
You
know,
had,
dude?
yeah, David, you had 23 unique, and Ryan only had 16 unique games.
Wow.
He had
King
So
crossover.
much crossover with
Well,
everybody
I
else
guess
on the
so.
team.
You got mass appeal, baby.
You know why? It's because I'm an evangelist for those games and I make you play them and then you all
Okay,
love them.
good.
That's what
Good.
happens.
Oh, that's a very self-centered way of looking at it.
Well, and you know, we did our videos in pairs leading up to the top 10,
Yep.
right? So I thought it'd be interesting also to look at what were the pairs that had the most crossover and the least crossover. So who do you think, knowing that Ryan had the most crossover total, who do you think, which pair had the most crossover of any of
Across
us?
all 50 or across the times we were together?
Across all 50.
Oh,
So 50.
oh, the pairs of us.
Yeah.
I would say,
I want to Jeremy to tell me.
Weirdly enough, I think you and I had more crossover than I thought.
You and me?
Yeah,
I felt like that too.
I feel like that too.
You know
But I know the answer.
hey, I think she just answered it.
Like
I mean, I was
no,
gonna
when
say-
we were recording together, it was like
just
two
vibing
apart
here.
or one apart. It was like
So
weird.
you're asking which pair of us had the most crossover,
Yes,
or
which pair of us?
who I had the most crossover
No,
with?
which pair? I
Which
think
pair?
it was
Which pair?
either Emily and Jeremy, but you and I had a lot of crossover too.
Well, I was gonna say me and Emily.
Wow!
We're all very
Draw a
self-centered.
line in the sand.
It had to be me. I had to be part of
No,
it.
because I just know Emily and I had a lot of games.
Well,
like,
I have
Kanban
something
and
to
Weather
say.
Machine.
Because Ryan was King Crossover, I
Right.
think that should factor into the answer. I'm going to say Ryan and Emily.
Yeah, Ryan and Emily.
Okay. It was not Ryan and Emily.
Oh.
It was actually Ryan and David.
What?
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Yep.
Wow.
You
I
guys
guess
had
so. We had
19 games in common across your two lists.
I don't even know what they all were.
Isn't that crazy?
is
Does
kinda
that make me
crazy.
the Duke of Crossovers?
Oh, no.
And what's surprising is the pair that had the least crossovers. Any guesses before I,
I
say?
think David
Myself
and
and
Jeremy,
David, yeah,
honestly.
myself.
No,
and
it's
David.
not me and
We're
Jeremy.
totally different games.
I don't know, you guys had totally different games.
we like
I
to
think.
we like the same, but when it comes pound for pound, we definitely are two different gamers.
Yeah, I guess probably.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, I agreed with you that I felt like you and I had very similar, but
Yeah.
you and me had the most unique from each other.
Really
we,
weird.
we only had 7 games in common.
Oh, really? But you happened to. I think the reason it stuck out was because they were in your pairing. Like all of them were when you.
You know what's
Yeah.
really interesting outside of the top 50? I feel like you and I have really like the small games that I like, the games that are a little bit more casual. Like I think we like the exact same games.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
It's
Like,
just
so
weird.
when I
Like
thought that,
yeah,
I was
I was like, no, I think we kind of like the same games. Like I would know what to buy you for Christmas, but I'd buy you Warriors.
Or
I
maybe
know
not.
yeah, I know exactly what
well,
to buy.
and
Yeah.
we had that moment in our video where we had the Magnificent, and it was
Back to back.
literally one away
From each other. I was
And
just
we-
like,
Oh yeah, that was a good moment too.
It
Because I
was.
remember when he said the
was like-
Magnificent,
I was like,
you were like
"What?"
blown away, and I was like, why is she so surprised that he chose the Magnificent?
And then my next one was the Magnificent.
Yeah.
Right.
So I thought about about that, and I was like, I want to see if there were any other moments like that, even if they weren't maybe on camera. And we had another one that was off by 1. So when we said the Gallerist,
Yes.
you had it at 24,
Yep.
I had it at 25.
Yep.
And then there were a couple times where people had the exact same ranking for a
Really?
game. Yes.
Both of you?
No, not us.
Oh.
It was Jeremy again and David, and this time you guys were saying the Manhattan Project for number 19.
Oh, wow.
And then Jeremy again and Ryan for number 18. You both had Dune Imperium.
We did,
Yeah,
and
wow.
also though, Jeremy and I filmed, and then somebody actually pointed this out in the video, which I thought was hysterical, and I had to go back and rewatch it because I said Paladins,
Yeah.
and your next one was Architects, and I said Paladins, and you had this look on your face like, did we really just both?
I know.
Yeah, no,
Let's
that was,
see
I was
again.
like,
it was awesome. The
know.
look on your face
Dude.
in that video
Like
was
I had to
awesome.
pause that look. You were like, whoa.
Like, that's another one. While I was editing that and I saw his face, I'm like, what's happening? Like, did he just forget that he's doing a video?
So Jeremy, you were spot on in the rankings you gave because we apparently all agreed with you.
Yeah.
We're very similar.
Oh, man.
But there was one game that was a 4-way crossover, so it was on all 4
I'm
of our
trying to
lists.
figure out what that game was.
Just
You
one
mentioned
game?
that. There was
Just one
game.
I actually
game.
know
Oh.
this.
And you guys do know it
It
because I
was-
I
told
do know. I
you.
know there was just one
It
game.
was just
Jeremy,
one game.
that was on all
Do you
of
know
our
what it is?
lists.
Dude, it was just
Whoa.
one
There
game.
was just one.
Just one?
game.
Yeah, just
Oh,
one.
Just one.
Just
No.
one?
Just
Yeah.
one game.
Just one game?
he's playing along. I'm guessing it was just one.
It was just one.
Yeah.
I'm so,
The
that
little
game was
party
so
game that
cheesy.
could-
That game's a
Please
freaking
cut
riot.
that all out of that video.
I know.
No.
That's crazy that game was the
Well, that game is like it's
No,
hard.
it's so fun. Man.
It's hard to play that game and not be like, oh yeah, like that feel like when you get it, like you feel so good, like
Yeah.
you literally feel like the king of the world.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's always going to be a game like that that coincides on everyone's lists. It's just the next game that takes that crown spot. Like,
Yeah.
I would say 6 years ago, Codenames might have
Right,
been
would
on
be-
all of
That's
our
true.
lists,
That's
right?
fair.
At the
That's
same
fair.
time.
Right.
And then it gets kind of supplanted by something like this. And then
Yeah.
what will it be? Maybe So Clover,
See, I thought
perhaps.
that, but it didn't.
What was So
do it for
Clover?
me.
Was not on all 50?
It wasn't on
Not
mine.
on mine.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Was it
Not on
yours?
mine, but
it
it's-
was on yours, right?
I'm pretty sure So Clover was
Not on mine, but
mine.
I think it's in like the 60s, 70s.
Yeah, I think
so
it might
it's
get
up there
there.
for me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
it's
fun
up
With a
game.
little more time.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe So Clover wasn't on any of our lists.
It was like I didn't even think about So Clover.
But we did have a lot of crossovers. We had, for 3-way crossovers, we had, any guesses how many of those?
Oh,
we had
three-way
we had
crossovers?
about
Three-way
10,
crossovers.
15 of those.
6.
Oh, I
I'm
would
gonna go
say
with
20.
I'm gonna go with
6?
I'm gonna go with 13.
13? It was 15.
Oh,
So your
dang,
original
man.
guess would have been better.
Nice.
What was it? You said you were overconfident and wrong. You're not. You're right.
I mean, hey,
Every
man,
time.
hey.
Well, the interesting thing about the crossovers, too, was that since you had the most crossovers, you were in every single 3-way crossover.
Wow.
So there were no 3-way crossovers that were just me, Jeremy, and David. Ryan was in
Oh.
every single one of them.
He has to be in every crossover.
He's
King
in every
crossover.
single-
He's King crossover.
I knew it. I was like, guys, you can't have a crossover without me in it.
Yeah.
But I thought, like, if you have some people watching that were like, oh, which game should I start with? Those are probably the place to start. So I wanted to see which of those do we kind of rank the most high in our
Yeah.
list. So I looked at a little bit of, like, the averages. Any guesses of the 3-way crossovers, which one kind of had the average highest
Oh,
score?
I know.
Oh,
Wait.
I bet I know one of them.
I got a
Alright.
50-50.
All right.
It was either. Oh, what?
Can I guess first? Because I wasn't on this.
I'll
I didn't
say-
have this on my list at all.
You
Okay.
say it, and then I'll say the other one.
I'm gonna say it was Dune Imperium.
Or Lost Ruins of Arnak.
oh no, Dune Imperium higher.
Well, I don't know.
It's got to be Dune.
You guys are all wrong. So it was Arc Nova.
Oh.
you in on
Come
that
on, no.
I
I was
forgot.
the only one who
Yeah.
didn't put it
That's
on my
right.
top
For a
50.
second, we just talked about just one game
Oh,
being.
average because
Yeah.
it was so high
Yes.
on
Because it
theirs.
was in two
Right,
top
right,
tens,
right.
and then
Two
the
top
other
I
person
forgot
had
you
it.
didn't have our.
I'd be
Arc Nova.
curious to
didn't
see
have
where
Arc Nova
Dune
on
was
mine,
because
no.
Dune was in their top 10.
So Dune
right?
was in our
Yep.
teens.
Yeah, Dune
Yeah.
was in the
Dune
teens,
was in
and
our
so
teens.
Dune was the thing that no one put it in their top 10, but we all had it in the teens. So
Yeah.
on average, it was like a rank 14.
So it was-
whereas Arc Nova was
yeah.
at an average like a rank 7.
That was a tough call for
Would
me.
you say Dune was the one that was closest to each other?
Yeah,
of all?
definitely.
Yeah.
The discussion of where to put Arnak and Dune, and it's tough. It was so tough. And I was like, if I flip flop it, what does
good.
that say?
Did you
I
ever
don't
one
want them
after
to be
the
right
other?
next to each other. But I made a point of not having them next to each other. But then I was like, then I just kind of went with it.
They
So
really are. They really do
They-
fit
they
so
are.
well together.
Yeah,
Those are
Ryan
such
had
great games.
you had yours right next to each
I
other.
did it. I tore myself apart trying to decide which one should go first.
Which one did you ultimately put
I'm
first?
pretty sure it was Dune.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
If
it's
it wasn't,
it's
you should
better. Like,
recalculate that
Dune
because I
just,
think.
June just eked out
Yeah.
over Lost Ruins.
Some
So
other
I'd
ones
go
that
with
ranked
both
pretty
games.
highly were Orleans, because we
Yeah.
had two people who had it in the top 10, right?
That's true.
Cryptid, which we had also a couple in the top 10.
Yeah, me and you.
Yep.
Did anyone else have Cryptid?
I did,
Brian
but
did.
it wasn't in the
Oh, you
top
did.
10.
Okay.
Yep. And then Maracaibo, which wasn't in anybody's top 10, but again,
Right. It was
we
in the
all
teens,
rated it
All
high in the
pretty
pretty
teens,
high.
Yeah.
So those are some good starting places.
This is more exciting than the top 50 itself, in my
I like
opinion.
this.
This is
data
really
is
fun.
so interesting to me. But
So thinking of some
So-
of those titles, I was like, another thing might be which designer did we have who had the most titles on our list?
On
it's
all of
easy.
our lists,
On all of our
That's
lists. So of the
easy.
140 titles, which designers
I-
had the most?
Pfister.
it's
I would
got to
say
be Pfister.
Pfister or maybe Ticini.
Yeah.
Uh,
Pfister
Or
and
Luciani. I had a lot of Luciani games.
We had a lot of
We
Luciani.
both had Grand Austria Hotel.
but
What
everybody
about
had
Lacerda?
Pfister.
it
But-
could be
but-
Lacerda
no, what?
too.
You know what?
'cause
Number
we-
one is Lacerda. Number two is Pfister.
I don't know, but I had no Lacerda on
Yeah,
mine. But you guys
Lacerda-
had almost every Lacerda on
We all
all
had
of yours.
I feel like Ticini's up there. You and I we all had a lot
Yeah.
of Ticini
So because
games.
I have two or three.
I'm going to
Ticini.
say Lacerda being the only person who probably didn't
So here we
contribute
go.
to that number.
All right, I got it. Here we go. So
Okay.
Lacerda, Pfister, Ticini, and Luciani.
Yeah, I had like 5 Luciani games on my list alone.
All
so
right.
So I will say Jeremy's feeling really confident, but also really good because
Is that
there's
accurate?
actually a 3-way tie. There's 3 people who had 4 titles on our list, and that was Lacerda,
Yep.
Pfister, and Simone Lucchini.
Oh,
And then,
wow.
Was Ticini close?
I don't
I don't
have him
think
as
so.
close.
I
No.
I think it was really just we had a couple, maybe like 2.
Well, I know I had like Marco Polo and Grand Austria Hotel.
Well,
and
some of those have
Mirage.
so many different
Yeah.
designers,
Yes.
too.
So
that's true.
I should put a caveat at this point and say that
You did single ones.
all the
effectively.
stats that I got were from BGG,
Yeah.
and so if somebody wasn't listed or if something was listed weird in the order, that could have affected things.
Well,
but-
these are people. Lacerda mostly designs alone,
Right.
and
Yeah.
Fisher does too. But Luciani designed with so many other
Yes,
people.
exactly.
So,
So
his
it's like
name
trying
pops
to
up. I
pick
think that's-
out- yeah,
his
so
name
you
I
pops
have
feel
up
like
a
there are
lot.
people in the audience right now going, actually.
Dear BG, do not listen to MDM content. Like, oh no.
Please don't
that's
do that to
interesting that
either
they-
us or BGG.
Yeah.
Can you say what was like you said they all tied at how many?
at 4. So
4.
4 titles.
I'm
each.
surprised it's only 4.
I am.
Yeah.
I am
Do we
too.
only have 4 Lacerdas total on our list?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, we had
so.
Kanban,
Kanban,
On Mars,
On
Gallerist, Weather Machine.
Oh, I guess those
But
are the
that's where
top 4.
Those are the
where-
4.
Those are the top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one I did find interesting though was Pfister, because we all had a Pfister title on our list, at least one.
I think I'd.
You didn't have any Lacerdas, and I think Jeremy didn't have any Simone Luciani.
No.
Do you have Grand Austria Hotel on yours?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Nope.
Not
But
top
we
50,
all
buddy.
had a Pfister.
wow.
Not top 50. I had
See,
a
we're
great time
even
with it.
still learning about each other's top 50.
I can't remember all. I watched
I know.
them all,
I
but
can
there
barely
was
remember my own
so
top
many.
50.
There were some
watch.
tough games that got left off that list, and I was like, wow. left
Yeah,
that
I
off
have
the
to
list.
say, even, I mean, it's interesting because I thought, okay, we put all that effort in to the top 50, and I thought I felt really solid. But we were just talking before we recorded about some games that I at least thought, oh, wait a minute.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Could that have been on my top 50?
That'll probably keep happening more and
So-
more as time
well,
goes on.
We'll probably revisit top 50, not every year,
Not every year.
but we'll revisit our top
Well,
50
we can
again.
talk about the change. Like I already.
Certainly the top 10. Maybe we'll do the top 10 every year and
I've
update
already
that.
since we filmed. I've said this before. I've absolutely fallen in love with Dead Reckoning. I'm like,
Oh,
man,
that's
that
true.
absolutely
This guy
deserves
loves
a
Dead
spot.
Reckoning at this point.
But it's too late.
It's
Didn't
crazy.
play it in time.
Tough luck.
Next time.
So we talked about tough luck, tough choices. What do you think was the toughest game on our list?
Oh,
as
wait.
according to BGG complexity.
Wait.
Out of all of our
Yes.
combined lists,
Well, it's got to
on
be a
Mars,
Lacerda.
On Mars.
I would say on
And,
Mars.
and what do you think was the BGG complexity rating?
On Mars,
He knows probably.
426.
yeah,
426?
yeah.
Wait, 4.26?
Yeah.
Like you know that?
I'm close.
I would say on Mars, and I would say it's either that or 4.5.
Okay. It is on Mars, so you guys got that.
I'm going to say 4.23.
412.
It's 4.65.
Yeah.
So
Is
closest
it?
would
Oh,
be
that's
us.
Dang,
450,
that is
yeah.
heavy.
It is
On
heavy.
Mars is a pretty heavy game.
It's
It
Like,
is a pretty heavy game.
That is, we love it. I would not say that On Mars is a beginner Lacerda.
So if I'm gonna play on Mars, I read the booklet, watch Paul Grogan's video, take a day break, watch. I'm not BSing you. Set it up, read it, like kind of peruse again, and make sure I have it, and then we have game night where we play on Mars.
On Mars is a lot.
And just because I have it set up, usually that'll be the game we play that night. and then I will just play it solo after that, so I can make sure I get my fill, and then I'm done. I love that game, but it is a commitment. You gotta be
I
committed.
mean, you just scared the
Yeah.
hell out of me.
You got to. No, I'm serious. Like with that game, you got.
We're
to
still
be
trying to get David to play Lacerda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's not a good beginner one. Like Weather
That's
Machine,
not.
I think, or Gallerist.
Yeah, the
Gallerist is
Gallerist.
another one.
Although Gallerist, I just came off a show where they were giving weights and we were guessing
Yes,
weights.
yeah, I was gonna say you should be good at
Gallerist
this
is ranked really high.
Yeah.
Like
very
weight-wise?
high. Weight wise, it's very high.
I think
Yeah,
that's
he
But then I
was
because
before,
think
too.
I thought to
Yeah.
myself, and I'm not going to go too deep in it, but I remember when I thought about that game thematically. Not a lot of people know about like the art game,
No.
like promoting artists and having them come. So like it doesn't necessarily have like a relatable flow
Well, it's an
because
economy
people don't
game, too.
understand, right? And it's an
Yeah.
economy game, and you're like promoting artists and doing all this. Like that's not something that people relate to necessarily. So it could be more complex because of that.
Yeah. No, that's
on
a good
top-
point.
Right. Yeah.
So we're talking about tougher games, Lacerda games.
Yeah.
Who do we think had the most games on their list that had a 4.0 rating or higher?
It's either me or Jeremy.
It's me.
It's one of us. Probably,
Oh.
probably Jeremy.
it's me.
Really?
Yeah.
It could be
David, you
Emily.
look super surprised.
Yeah.
Emily has a
Well,
lot.
Emily has a lot too. It's definitely not me. That I know.
Yeah, it's me.
I would say it's between the two of them, and because he has something like Mage Knight, which probably
Yeah,
also
I
has
have-
a high
I play
rating
play
on it,
heavy
I would
games.
give it to Jeremy.
It-
You said, are we looking at
Four-
average
4.0
score?
high.
No, we're saying
Yeah, I think it's Jeremy.
it is Jeremy. Jeremy has 8 titles that have a 4.0 or higher complexity
I
rating
play
in
some
BGG.
beasties.
Yep.
You're such
do
a
we think has
smart
the-
gamer,
the
Jeremy.
least?
Ooh, you want to see me score 10 points?
I think it's David.
Who has
Oh,
the least?
for sure.
It is definitely David.
Yeah.
David only
Thank
has
you.
one.
It was like, I see a 4 on BGG, I just put the game
What
back
is?
on the
Do
shelf.
you know what
Like,
my one is?
I don't know off the
Oh.
top of my head. But guesses. Any guesses?
Is Orleans? No, is Orleans a 4?
No, way.
I can't imagine.
Moon Lake? No.
Well, I'm trying to think of what else is on your list that would be a
It's got to be a
4.
Fister game.
We will come. Well,
Yeah,
you know what?
Comments below what your
What do
guesses
you
are.
think
I'm
it
going
is?
to come back to you.
Yeah,
with what
well,
it
we
is.
might put the answer at the bottom
Was
at the end of
Maracaibo
the
on your
video.
list?
No.
Because that might be the closest. But if it's
Moon
not
Lake
on
is
the
not
list-
a- I don't think
Moon
Moon
Lake
Lake's
is
a
not.
4.
Yeah.
So we talked about the tough ones,
Maybe
but
it
what
is.
about the easy? What do we think was the lowest complexity game?
Nerds.
No, Nerds is not the lowest complexity.
Oh.
What, didn't you have don't you have did Funglish make your top 50?
Portal
Portal is
not make
gonna,
my top
Por-
50.
Portal by definition is probably going to be the lowest.
Oh
think
no no no!
Portal?
I mean,
No way.
she had Pictionary on her list.
Okay.
Pictionary is probably the lowest.
Like
So Pictionary is the lowest,
Pictionary
yeah.
or even just one.
But
true.
abstracts are rated very low. I just got off a game show where abstracts.
Lower
We
than-
looked
I
at the
think
abstracts and I was
I'm
like,
going
oh my
Pictionary.
god,
I'm gonna agree with you.
Pictionary.
Oh, it could be Times Up.
could be.
Because
Oh,
Times Up is
It's
so
Times Up.
easy.
It's
Yeah,
up.
but no, I'm saying Pictionary.
Okay.
What do you think the rating is?
What for Pictionary?
Yeah.
1.2.
Okay,
I think Times Up, and I think it's a 1.
just straight one.
1.
I think it's Pictionary, and I think it's probably. I don't. Does anything go less than one?
No.
I don't
What
think
is the
so.
lowest?
I'll say it's a 1.
And remember, it's an average rating, so
Yeah.
it's probably not. It's probably
Yeah.
it'd have to be
Yeah.
only ones
That's
to be
true,
a
that's
1.
true.
To be clear, but it is not. It is just 1,
Oh, it
Okay.
is.
Oh,
and it is a 1.04.
What's Pictionary?
Do you know?
I don't know what it is off the top of my
Oh,
head,
I'll
but
have
it
to
was
look that up.
higher. So
Interesting.
yeah, everybody's rating just 1 is very
Yeah,
low.
you got to think. Some
it's
people
pretty
who
easy
do
to play.
Pictionary, there's always that person who's like, I don't know what to draw or
There's
how to
all
draw.
play.
They might
That's
get
the
on
hard part.
BG and go, "This is a 10."
Yeah.
It's gonna be so hard I can't draw. I do want to try that Pictionary Air though. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, we'll do who had the most that were in the 1 to 2 range, the most lightest games.
I mean,
What is this? What is
I
this
would
arrow
s-
I
pointing
mean, it's
towards?
probably
You're
one
like
of these two.
everyone.
I think it's mirrored Jeremy because
Yeah, I was
he
gonna
had some
say.
light games as well.
I have some super light games.
but I'm gonna
in there.
say I'm gonna give it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you.
I'm gonna
David.
give it to you too,
Definitely
David.
to you.
And it was actually a tie. It's me and David.
Oh,
And we both have
oh,
14
of
titles.
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with all of your.
Sure, that's what it meant. That's what this
you
was.
and
In
David.
Ryan's just gonna
retrospect.
do this.
Somebody you
It
guys.
means not Ryan.
Somebody over here. No, that makes sense because like games like Pictionary, you had Times Up, just
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a
A
lot,
lot
of,
of party-
light,
like,
fun games.
lot of
I would
party
consider
Don't mess
them.
with Cthulhu. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Who do you think had the least that were in that range?
I didn't put a
Yeah,
single.
definitely Ryan.
Oh,
'cause
Ryan.
I didn't put any
Ryan.
party games on my list.
Yeah, it is Ryan. He only had 5.
Ryan was
So,
mostly the
I'm
hard.
surprised
core.
I had-
14, 5.
I'm surprised they even had 5 that were that. low.
Ryan stayed
Yeah.
mostly in the wheelhouse of like medium plus Euros.
Right. I just thought about like I do love party games in the right environment, but like I
Yeah.
would rather be playing a game with you guys that's a little heavier.
Sure.
All right, last.
When you say
cat-
you guys, do you mean all
Hey,
of us?
well, Ryan,
this is his
Ryan, we can
finger.
play
He's
Dreadful
like-
Circus again if you want to play
No,
Dreadful
okay, no, I'm done with Dreadful Circus. I'm so bad at lying. I'm so bad. Like I can't.
That's his cover story.
Ryan, do you want?
I'm so
do
bad
you
at
want
lying.
some of my
Awful at
offering?
lying.
Like I can't. Jeremy's like, there's 6 in here. I'm like, I believe you every time. Like he did.
It was like watching a comedy show. It was like, here, Ryan, here. I'm giving you 4 more.
I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. I'm like, I believe you. You would
I'll
never lie.
take it. I'm like, oh my god, he's taking it.
I'm so gullible.
Can't believe
That
it.
game was like what's the Robin Hood? The you know the one I'm talking about?
Sheriff.
Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
hey,
terrible at that too.
Right,
Like, I
here's
just-
3
Oh,
more.
I see. I know
Your
what you're
flies
talking
on
about.
zip too.
Look over there.
He's gonna look down. He's gonna look
I'm
down.
gonna go back and rewatch.
There's
Go
not even
watch
3 in here. My fly's fine.
Go watch our Dreadful Circus. First.
Yeah, the
It was
Dreadful
from
Circus
the
stream
Ashland
from
stream last
Yeah.
year.
By the way,
so-
did I mention it's late right now? I just wanted to make that clear again.
All right, one
more
more.
stats.
One
Oh,
more.
One more
Okay.
stat.
And this is for all the marbles. Not really, but
All the
I mean, I
marbles.
hope you guys have been keeping track of your own
Okay.
stats. How many you've
Okay.
been getting right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have it
Oh,
ready.
I'm runaway.
I'm not
here
even
on
sure
this.
where I am right
I
Well-
have 4 points. No, I have no idea.
You know, we talk a lot about Cult of the New, right? That's a big
That's
thing in
true.
board
Uh-oh.
gaming.
Yeah.
So, what was the newest game on any of the lists?
Ark
Oh.
Nova, right?
No.
Anything
No,
sort of newer
oh,
than Ark
Well,
Nova?
technically,
I know.
games that are not 2023.
That's fair. What about, are we counting games that aren't out yet? Because we had Weather
Well,
Machine.
if it was on the list, it's
You
in
and I
the
both had
stats.
Weather Machine and Earth, and I don't know which one is technically...
So I'm going to say Earth.
What, due
I
to
think it's
fulfill
Earth.
first?
Yeah. I don't know what...
This is a contest
Are
of
we
which
looking
it will fulfill,
Earth.
Earth or...
It's definitely Earth.
It was, I think Earth was the newest, but Weather Machine
I
technically
think,
ran before Earth did.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm
going
going to say Earth.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
think
Earth.
Earth is...
It was. It was
Okay.
Earth. Earth is, on BGG says 2023, and as last of checking, Weather Machine said 2022. So you guys can keep your fingers crossed for that.
We'll see.
If
Can
that's-
I just point out, I think this is just a reason for Emily to bring Earth back up.
Ark Nova...
Have I ever told you guys about the time I was about to leave?
Oh my gosh. With her
times.
jacket on.
We're changing the name of Chit Chat to That Story About Emily Leaving a Party.
Ark Nova had to be the most recent published game, though, that made it onto our list,
Probably.
right?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think-
Probably.
Yes, it
And
was.
I even was like, should I put that on there? But at the end
Well,
of the
Ark
day,
Nova?
yeah, like it's so new, but you always feel like people are going to be like, well, it's Cult of the New. That's the only. But like Ark Nova is that good.
We
Well, I
did
mean-
round it out a little bit. So anyone want to guess the oldest game on our list?
Oh.
I had some. David had some old games.
Some oldies, but
Wait,
some
wasn't
goodies.
there? What was like?
I think this is another reason for Emily to bring up her number 6. I'm going to go with
I was
Nerds.
isn't Nerds like from the 70s?
No,
David, you had your old timey game too. What was
Yeah.
your old timey game that you had in there?
What's my word?
What's my word?
Yeah, what's my word?
Yeah, but that...
Roll my
I think what-
mustache.
What's my word? That was on your list, right? What's my
I
word?
hope you guys didn't think like, oh, stats episode. This isn't going to be fun at all to watch.
This is the craziest episode of Chit Chat
I
ever.
think What's My Word? That was like from the 70s or maybe even earlier.
Yes,
right?
it was. But I happen to know that Nerds was from the 1930s.
30s.
Oh.
But was there anything older?
I know.
You
What?
do know?
Crokinole.
It was.
There you go.
It was Crokinole. You know the
Good
year
job
on
on it.
Crokinole?
Early 1900s?
It said 1876,
Whoa.
according to BGG.
Wow,
so
look at
thank
you.
you, David, for taking us back to the
You know
1800s
that table
gaming.
was unbalanced.
Were they following the one cheek rule in the 1800s is what I want to know.
They played it with a piece of raw wood and
Did you
rocks.
picture playing that unbalanced game in college
That's,
shots, man?
to me, that's like crazy though. Like you think like how different things were, but yet you walk into like a tavern, there's two guys playing crokinole, argue like.
Oh, sure.
You're part of that history now.
I think
you know?
anything made of wood like that has probably
Yes.
got a chance of being the older game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was those all the stats.
That is all the stats. I did want to say
Oh
a
my
little bit
gosh.
about the years. So, like I said, we did have some new stuff.
Yep.
We had some very old stuff. You were right. Nerds was 1930, so that was the second oldest. Most of our games, like 45% of them, fell in the 1 to 5 year category. So between 2018
the board game
2021.
renaissance era.
Yes, and most of our game, like the 1 year that had the most titles on our list was
2016?
Nope.
Oh, that was such a good year.
2019.
2019.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2019 was a really good year.
Yep.
Yeah,
very
but
good year.
2016 had some of my favorite games.
I remember trying to
Clearly
make
not.
I tried to
Terraforming
make
Mars,
a.
Great
I remember
Western Trail.
trying to make a top 10 in 2019 was like it was
Very
insane.
hard to do,
It was
yeah.
very hard to do.
The other thing that made me think of was, so before 2010, most of the games on our list were like one title per year, right? Because they're pretty old at this point. But there were a couple years that had more than one title in the same year prior to 2010. And that was in 2007. We had 2 games come out that are still stay the test of time and are on our top 50 list right now. Any guesses on those?
In
Seasons from
2007? No, season's not that old.
2007
No?
games. There's 2 of them.
Well, season's like
Shogun?
2012.
Pictionary?
No, that's a
It was
terrible
on
guess.
2 of our. It was.
There's 2
Everybody's
titles.
for
Oh,
Shogun.
there's 2 titles that both came out in
2007.
2000, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Did anything on
They're
my?
15 years old at this point.
I'm gonna say Quarto is one of them.
Quarto's
No.
93.
No,
Oh, it's that.
Also
It's
no.
older.
Yeah,
Whoa.
But it is older.
2000. I don't know.
Okay.
It's Race for the Galaxy,
Oh.
classic,
Oh.
and Agricola.
Oh yeah, Agricola. Yeah.
So 2
2007.
great games. 2007 was a great time to come into the hobby.
Also
Well,
on
that
your
was
list,
the
by
time
the way.
we all came
Yes.
into the hobby.
Did anyone else have race or
No.
Agricola
Absolutely
other
not.
than you?
No.
No one else did?
Those were your games
wow.
only.
I didn't have either
Well,
one of them.
here's the other year was David's games, which was 1991. There were also 2 games that came from that year that were on our
Both
list.
Davids.
1991.
Yeah. I don't know that anyone else had. No, wait. We had some other people at them on the list, but I will just say because Jeremy gave it away already.
Can I just say, Mike?
Shogun?
I feel attacked.
Yeah.
My list feels
I
attacked.
gave it away. It's not. It's Quarto.
It's Quarto.
It's Quarto.
Quarto.
And the
Yeah.
other one was Tichu.
Yeah.
Same
Which was
year.
1991.
Tichu's 1991.
That's what it
I
said.
felt like Tichu was like a game from the 1500s or something like that.
This whole
Not
time
according to
now, you
BGG.
feel like your whole life is a
So-
lie.
It's actually. I think now that I'm thinking of it, I remember thinking that Tichu was old, and when I looked it up, I realized it's not some ancient game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
Just 'cause it has a
1991.
dragon
It's
on
ju-
it.
well, it looked like something that
I
was
was a
like,
different Jeremy back then. Though.
Right.
So it was a long time ago.
1991. I wasn't playing any games.
Let's not
back
talk
then.
about how old we
was a
were in
different young man.
1991. You were all very young. Some of us not even born, probably.
And some of us probably working our careers at that point.
Not quite. I was in college. Thank you very
That's what
much.
an elder statesman already.
But those were all the stats that we looked up tonight. Hopefully you guys found something interesting or fun. If there's
I hope
anything
so.
else you wanted to know about our list or like some data stats,
Yeah.
put it in the comments below. We could see what's feasible and try to get you whatever information we can.
We might have a follow-up episode for this.
know.
This was,
was
the most
interesting.
fun I've ever had. on
I
Chit
like
Chat.
this. I like the quiz format, but
By
man,
far.
it's funny. Like you don't even really think about like some of these answers were very surprising, even though I was there for this
The
whole time.
list,
thinking,
you're
I'm
like,
still
I put
oh,
my
what
list
is-
together.
We
Oh,
got
this
to
is so
know the
interesting.
most about each other, I think, through this. Like our
Yeah, it was a
taste.
fun process.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so glad
It
we
was a
did
fun
not tell
process.
each other what our top 50
No, and
was.
Jeremy,
Yeah.
we got a whole emotional like breakthrough from
Yeah.
you on the.
So,
I know, in the top 10, I was like,
Oh.
Jeremy.
whoa.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
haven't watched them, I know we've said this before. If you haven't watched them, you really should watch them. We had a lot of fun throughout there. If you want to skim through and just see what we said, that's fine
Yeah.
too. But man, we had a lot of fun on camera.
You
when
know,
we were
and
recording all of
honestly, since we're kind of wrapping up of that and talking about it, like getting to film with each of you, it's like it's so much fun because we all have just such different camera presences.
Styles.
Like, and we have the way we talk to each other, the way the jokes we make are different. Like, it's just a lot of fun.
yeah.
That was the most
to
favorite
very
time I
well.
got with Emily.
Yeah,
So-
I was like I said, we were just talking
We
so
just
much.
had
I was
a
like,
good
we had so
time.
many
Like I was like,
crossover, and
I'm
I was
getting
like,
to know
no,
her.
we
We
didn't.
get to know more. And like we're just having a good time. And then we had
fun.
some crossovers. So
I
it was
know.
like, whoa, I know you. You know me. We love that game. Like,
Do we just become best friends?
we love that game. We just go. Yeah.
Your mom's name's Martha?
Right.
No, it was a lot of fun. I like the fact that we divided it up differently like
Yeah,
that.
that's
And I think it sounds like from the comments we got, people dug that as well.
Yeah.
It's something
Oh yeah,
that was a
and,
little different.
Like I always feel so sappy, but just seeing all of the positive comments and people just loving our list.
And
One
seeing
guy,
your top 10 lists too, that was a lot of fun. Getting to see the other people's lists and be like, oh, those are good
that's-
games
Yeah,
too.
yeah, and I've been looking too, because there are some games that you go like, oh man, like I forgot about that game.
Yeah.
Like I haven't played that game yet. You gotta understand, I came in like the hobby a little bit later, so I haven't been in the hobby this long, at least for the modern games. So it's like, yes, I still have to play that game. And I really do mean it. Like, I want to play some of your games. Because I just feel like, gosh, I keep hearing those. I've heard it for years how great that game was.
Yeah, that was a fun. In fact, I mean, we've said enough about Emily's number 6, which is
Yeah, that
Nerds.
was a
If you
lot of
haven't
fun,
watched
too.
it, but that I've played now a couple times.
it's so much
Emily
fun.
played it with me and Alicia just last night. Again, I suck at the game. You should
real
see
time.
Alicia. You should.
She's great
She
at
was
it. I feel
so
like-
good.
She's
feel like
kind of
she
a
was like
natural.
Beep, 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 beep,
Right.
beep.
It was funny. The
makes
first game
sense.
we played, I gave her a deck that was all dark and you couldn't see the suits very well, so she was having an awful
David
time.
like set her up to fail.
I
so
did. I
much.
didn't think. I was trying to
Why do
think.
you have a
It's a
deck
different.
like that?
It
Why?
was some theme deck. We got rid of that and then she crushed.
Yeah,
well,
she was like-
you and she were competitive.
She did so well though. But I also saw in the comments everyone's saying Dutch Blitz is really good too. So putting that on
played
my list of something to play.
I really did. Yeah, I liked all people like commenting on like a lot of overlap that we had, and there was even one guy that literally like cataloged
I loved
his
that.
overlap. I wish I had
loved
looked
that.
ahead at his name, but he was going through every video and cataloging.
Oh, the guy who he said I had most in common with.
With-
yeah,
Yeah,
he was like
I
literally
love
like he was
that.
doing his own data.
Yeah, that was
Stats,
super
I like
cool.
that. Keep your
stats. Yeah, that was really cool to read.
Yeah, so anyway, share all your stats. Ask us questions in the comments below. We're not going to talk about any more games that we've been playing. We're going to save that for our next episode. And I do want to plug that because our next episode of Chit Chat 105's coming in a couple weeks. It will be before Essen, and it is all about Essen. We're going to be doing an Essen preview where we talk about some of the games we're looking forward to at Essen. And we'll talk about some of the games we've been playing because we've been fortunate to have access to some of those Essen games.
Yeah.
And we just played some, in fact, today
Yep.
that we'll
Spoilers.
probably be talking about. But until next time, make sure everyone has fun at the table, and we'll see you then.